and welcome back. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Kelly. Today we'll be talking about Heroes from the Past.
We're going to start off today's show by traveling back in time and highlighting some real heroes from the past.
Let's first rewind back to the year 1898, where we'll meet our first hero, Marie Curie.
Marie is known for discovering radium and helping create the X-ray, which has helped provide medical treatment for many people.
Yep. During World War I, Marie invented a mobile X-ray machine that could be used right on the battlefield to help soldiers. She helped save the lives of millions of soldiers.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's take a big jump forward about 60 years to the 1960s.
If you think of the 60s, you might think of peace signs and flower power. But another big thing happening at this time was the Civil Rights Movement.
The hero we picked from this decade is someone I'm sure you've heard of before, Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin was the leader of the Civil Rights Movement and helped fight for equal rights for African Americans.
He was a very powerful speaker. You might have heard his famous I Have a Dream speech before.
Pretty amazing. Now let's fast forward in time to the year 1994. That is the year that Nelson Mandela was elected as the first Black president in South Africa.
Nelson was a pretty amazing man. He fought for equal rights for the people of South Africa, even after the bad guys threw him in jail.
He actually spent 27 years in prison, but even while he was there, he continued fighting for equal rights.
That's a real hero right there. Now let's take one last trip back to the present.
All right, Elizabeth, I know we're back in 2020, but I have one last hero I want to talk about.
Okay, who is it?
Her name is Malala Yousafzai. She's from Pakistan, where some bad guys called the Taliban decided girls shouldn't get to go to school.
That's terrible.
Agreed. Malala thought so too, so she stood up to them and fought for girls to still get an education. She's actually the youngest person to ever win a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's amazing. How old is she now?
Well, she's now 22 years old. The reason we're talking about her now in 2020 is because just last week, Malala graduated from Oxford University, which is a super fancy college in England.
That's so cool. Well, I think we're out of time, but we'll be back after this short break to interview the son of a hero from the past.
Have you ever wanted to see someone from the past?
Or your friends and family from the future?
Well, we have the device for you. Time and Space Kit, also known as TASK.
TASK is used to go anywhere in the past and the future instantly.
But make sure you choose wisely, because the best part about TASK is that once you travel to your spot in time, you stay there indefinitely.
That means forever.
Call now and get your very own TASK.
Call 1-800-555-TIME.
That's 1-800-555-8463.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here with Alakazam, who is the son of Jimmy Schwartz.
Hi, Alakazam. So can you tell us what heroic thing your dad did?
Yes, my dad's a hero because he is a mall cop.
Oh, that is interesting. Does your dad have to do anything as a mall cop?
Well, he kind of sort of like helped some girl pick up her smoothie when it spilled.
Wow, sounds like a big helper. Has he ever been a hero to you at home?
One time he snuck me some candy when my mom wasn't looking.
Sounds like a real hero if I've ever seen one. How have you been a hero?
Well, I don't pick my nose anymore, so I think that makes me a hero.
That makes us all heroes.
I think that's all the questions we have for you. Thank you for being on our show, Alakazam.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back in a bit, but for now, let's head to Kaylee for the wellness tip.
Hey guys, I know I've talked to you guys a little about peer pressure before, but I know I have never really told you guys about what peer pressure looks like, how to avoid it, and how to say no. First, I'm going to break down the words peer pressure down for you. People your age, your classmates, and your friends are called your peers. When they try to make you do something you don't want to do, it's called peer pressure. Your peers influence the way you act in ways you don't even realize. Your peers can have a positive influence on you, like maybe a kid in your class taught you a cool soccer trick at recess, or maybe a friend showed you how to fix your bike. These are examples of how peers can positively influence your life. Sometimes peers can influence you negatively. For example, a few kids might ask you to stay out later than your curfew, or your soccer friend tries to get you to be mean to another player. Those are examples of how peers can negatively influence you. It's tough to be the only one who says no to peer pressure, but I know you can do it. Paying attention to your own feelings and beliefs about what is right and wrong can help you know the right thing to do. Inner strength and self-confidence can help you stand firm, walk away, and resist doing something when you know better. peer pressure is not always a bad thing. For example, positive peer pressure can be used to pressure bullies into acting better towards other kids. If enough kids get together, peers can pressure each other into doing what's right. Well, that's all I have for today, guys, but thank you so much for joining me for my wellness tip. Say no to negative peer pressure and don't forget to smile. Bye!
Welcome back, everyone.
We are here with a very special guest, Mr. Robert Cornelius, who has traveled here from the year 1839 just to sit down for an interview with us. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cornelius.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
We hear you invented something that is now super important to us. Can you tell us about that?
Why, yes, I am the inventor of the selfie.
So cool. How exactly did you end up taking the first selfie?
Well, I love photography, and I love looking at my own face. So I decided to put the two together.
Interesting. Did you have any idea selfies would become so popular?
No, I didn't. In fact, my friends all judged me whenever I took a selfie, so I didn't think others would want to.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my friends judge me when I take selfies too.
I think we should all take a selfie right now. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
What on earth is that tiny rectangle?
It's a phone. It has a camera you can use too.
What? What? What is this?
Okay, can I show you how to take a selfie with it?
Please
Okay.
do. Wow. That's, here, let me, I want it. I know, give me mine. This is mine.
Okay, all right, everyone. I think now is a good time for a break. We'll be right back after this. Guys.
That's mine. I want that.
Okay.
Welcome. Today we are talking about war heroes from the past. Let's get started with a Revolutionary War hero, George Washington. Way back in 1775, the United States was ruled by the King of England, way across the ocean. But the people who lived here wanted to be free and not pay all the high taxes the king wanted, so they started a fight. Washington was the leader of the army. He was able to keep the struggling army together and give them the direction they needed. He was a true hero to the American people at the time. Let's travel on to our next time stop. This field is where part of the Civil War was fought. And no, I don't mean the Avengers. But just like that movie, this war was fought by two sides that were once allies. Like George Washington, the next hero was once a president. Now, who are we talking about? It's Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States. Before he was president, Grant led the Union Army as General of the United States and won the American Civil War. Grant later became the 18th President of the United States and later went on to train horses and owned a horse ranch. Let's move on to our final talking point and our final war hero. This scary looking field that I'm standing on today was one of the biggest wars seen, World War I. The hero that we're talking about from this war was named Henry Johnson. Henry Johnson saw more combat than any other soldier in World War I. He once fought off 20 enemy soldiers while trying to save a captured friend and was injured at that time. The president at the time, President Theodore Roosevelt, described him as one of the 5 bravest Americans who served in the war. And 97 years later, President Obama awarded him the U.S. Medal of Honor. He was a true hero. Next up, we have an interview with a vet, and I don't mean the dog kind.
Welcome back, everyone. To end the show today, we have our friend Jerry Inglesby here with us. He is a retired Air Force colonel. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, we hear you have a Silver Star. Can you tell us what that means?
Silver Star is the third highest decoration, the Medal of Honor, and then the next line is Army Cross, Navy Cross, Air Force Cross, then Silver Star. So it indicates that you have seen combat and you've been in combat, and it's a to some people, it's a flag waver. But to me, I lost people, so it's just reminds me of those people that I lost.
I see. Well, we know you were in the Air Force. Why did you decide to join the Air Force?
I had an uncle that was a member of the Air Force, and I really liked him. He was my mom's younger brother, and I just thought it was really cool that he wore this blue uniform. But as I got a little bit older, I joined the Air Force. I joined the military because I love this country, and I wanted to serve this country, and that's how it really got started. But it really got started with a relative in uniform.
Awesome. My sister is in the Air Force too. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Now, how would you say the world has changed since you first joined the military?
Well, there's been several significant changes in the military, one of which has been the draft. When I first came in the military, there was the draft, and there were a lot of people that were coming in the military because of responsibility, or they come up on a list and they would end up being in the military. Whereas now, it's an all-volunteer force. All of the forces, all the military sides are volunteer. And so maybe, or just under 1% of the individuals that are in this country serve. Whereas if they were drafted, there'd be a lot. And technology, of course, has changed everything. Changed the way military is, and changed the way we do our business. There's one other thing that has changed over the years, and that is we work much closer. I'm an Air Force guy, Army guy, Navy guy, Marine, and we just work closer together. So that has been a change in the way the military serves its people.
Cool. Now, there's probably a lot of things, but if you had to pick one thing, what's something that you learned from being in the Air Force?
I think probably the one thing that I've learned is the world's a big place. I mean, it's a really big place, and where I was raised in a place, Provo, Utah, and that's kind of small, but moving and traveling all over the world, seeing different people and different languages and different kinds of circumstance, I think that's been the main thing. I think.
I like it. All right, I have one last question.
Okay.
What advice would you have for any kids who are thinking they might want to join the military?
What I would say is learn about it. Talk to somebody that knows about it. Not necessarily a recruiter, but talk to a family member. Talk to somebody that you know, and ask questions that you can get answers to that you could either say, "Oh, I don't think so," or you could say, "Aha, really?" And that, I think, is paramount. If you want to really join the military, you ask questions and then you read about it. And you should be able to get a good background of what you can expect in the military.
So you know what you're getting yourself into.
It's different. I can tell you this, maybe shouldn't, but I can tell you this. People that have not been in the military, they don't get it. And if you've been in the military, you do get it. It's a whole different way of life.
It's good advice. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your experiences with us. I will be right back with Elizabeth.
Have you ever wanted to look like a hero, but you don't want to do all the hard work that heroes do? Well, I have just the device for you. there is a device called the Hero camera. The Hero camera has high-tech editing software within the device itself. This means once you take a picture, it'll instantly make you a hero. For example, it might look like you're taking a picture on a beach vacation, but then, bam, saving a dog from a burning building. Such a hero. This device is just the thing to make you look like the hero you wish you were. Be sure to buy it today before it gets sold out, and it's gonna go fast.
That's it for today's show. We hope you enjoyed traveling back in time with us.
Be sure to check out today's links to make a time capsule with Kiara, make parachutes with Karen, and do art with Holly.
Leave us a comment and let us know which hero is your favorite from today.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.